So you're done thinking small. You're ready to evolve. You're ready to progress. You're ready to pursue your purpose. You're ready to impact in an edifying way the collective. You see all as one. You see all are joint together in an inseparable way. You see that we're a collective, we're a family, we are in this experience together, whether we like it or not. And you've seen within yourself something that you can do, something that you can provide to the collective to help raise the awareness, to help restore the lost identity, to help enrich and convert those who are still living, not convert them, but convert their experience from an illusion-based experience to a reality-based experience. You don't need to change anybody. Nothing you do, nothing you say can change anything, not even what they think about you. So much of your effort, so much of your time has been exhausted and invested in upside down portfolios, such as what they may or may not be thinking about you, what they may or may not be saying about you, how they view you, how they speak on you in your absence. It's none of your problem. You're not even there. You don't have to partner with their opinions of you. You don't have to align with their assumptions. Their opinion of you is just that. It's an opinion, oftentimes an uneducated opinion. Most of the time, you are bothered by calculations and conclusions from people that aren't even around you enough to speak on you in the way that they do. And rather than you count their erroneous presentation to their ignorance, you see them as some type of malicious and get it in your head that it's time to attack back. But when somebody tell you that you just like to fight, you just like chaos, you just missed the battlefield, you're just used to having a sword in your hand, you're just used to going back and forth, you're still childish, you still go tit for tat, you still play hit me, I hit you back. Understand, these are not just callous judgments. These are observations of the way you've been presenting yourself. And you've been so caught up in your thoughts, in your feelings, and in executing the marriage of the two that you don't even see you the way other people do. You're so caught up seeing other people the way you should see yourself that you miss the front row view of your own dysfunction. You're so caught up with the speck that you think is in their eye, you don't even realize all you see is the beam in your own. The beam is so big it covers your entire scope of sight, and you think that you see a speck, a slight flaw, just a minor indiscrepancy in their presentation. No, you're looking at a microscopic part of your major dysfunction, man. That's you. Every time you look over there at them and toot up your nose, you're tooting up your nose at the piece of you that you ignore, that you pretend is not there, that you pretend is not there. Just because you pretend it's not there doesn't mean it's not there. It just means that you get to live in the inconvenience of the convenience of not acknowledging that that belongs to you, not acknowledging that you walked in carrying something toxic to you and everybody else in this room. You wake up and lay down with something toxic. And it's the thoughts that you carry about yourself, the judgments that you put on other people. All right. But again, you're ready. You're ready to move into the beyond. You're ready to advance metaphysically to the point that it spills over into your physical presentation. And now you're wrestling with this idea that you are having a hard time building a team because there's been so much change, so much growth in you that you're now too advanced to be partnered with the people that you know. And you can't change your network because the people who are as advanced as you somehow find a way to calculate in your head that you can't reach them. So now you've built this new prison for yourself, where the only people around you accessible to you are those who you are better than or superior to, or I gotta find a word that you'll allow to penetrate your consciousness, because if I use a word that you've defined as something that you aren't, then you'll just kick it back and say that part of the conversation didn't apply to me. All of it applies to you. All of it applies to me. Trust me, I'm not jumping on YouTube trying to tell you things that are true about you that aren't true about me. We're talking human nature. We are talking about a universal experience. We are talking about the universal laws that govern the universal experience. What's the difference? Nah, you wear different masks than I do. You exhibit your dysfunction in different ways than I do. You choose different tones, different facial expressions, different mannerisms. You have different paths to the same hell that's familiar to me. The same fears that plague me, plague you. The same ideas of lack and need that I have and entertain, you were taught as well. But the same abundance, the same joy, the same peace that I was programmed with eternally, you were as well. So that lets you know that the delusion, the amnesia that is experienced on this plane is universal. It's not me, it's not you, it's us. You're not having a hard time building a team because other people are so dysfunctional and you've grown so mature. You're having a tough time building a team. You're having a hard time finding support because it's not support that you're looking for. It's not a team that you're looking for. You're looking for minions, and you're looking for approval, acceptance, blindly. Oftentimes without even letting people know what it is that they're accepting you and approving you for. Oftentimes without even putting the work in executing the plan that you've imagined. You want people to celebrate you for the imagination, as if you've done something special. We all have one of those. We all have concocted plans to change. We all have entertained conversations with others about inventions. We all have done that. We've listened to our parents do that. Our grandparents did that. But who has executed? Who has put the work in and executed and applied themselves to bringing and cultivating the change that they saw on the inside? That is the visionary. You are not the visionary because you've seen the vision. You are one who saw a vision. You're the visionary when you can see the vision, follow the whisper, execute and apply what you hear from within, and call forth in the physical what was once just a whisper, just a thought, just an idea, just an imagination, just a picture. This is your creation. And to be real, if we all had to give an account today, if you had but no choice, see, we love to talk about like the final judgment, right? And we got all these weird imaginations about the final judgment where we go up the stairs to heaven and we go to the pearly gates, and at the pearly gates there is someone with a book of life, and either your name in the book or it's not in the book, and you're gonna have to give an account for your good and your all of that. But check this out. It would be way more accurate of a picture if you were going to entertain a final judgment, if you were created by the ultimate creator to be an extension of the creator, and you were sent or chose to go and participate on the physical plane to cause this kingdom to be a reflection of the kingdom of which you came, and you had unlimited resources when it came to creation. You were able to create everything you did, every thought you had, every word you said, every bit of your attention that you poured onto any and everything, whether negative or positive, every one of them created something. At the end, if that creator was to judge you for how well you stewarded your ability to create as an extension of love, in love, within a kingdom on the physical, to make that kingdom a reflection of the kingdom of love from which you came, wouldn't it make more sense for that judgment to take place, requiring you to bring all of your creations and place them in front of the supreme creator and give an account for each creation? That's what we've been saying in this weird way. You've had it in your mind that everything you say, everything you do, everything you think, there is a supreme being on the other side of the clouds with supersonic hearing who has heard, observed, and witnessed everything that you tried to hide from everybody else because you knew in the moment that it was something that you were entertaining that was not necessarily beneficial or edifying or wasn't kind or polite, whatever the case may be. But you had it in your mind that God, the supreme creator, overseen and overheard all of those things and was waiting to judge you for it. Well, every thought of yours was a creation. Every thought of yours sent out a vibration, and it attracted to your life more of its nature. If it was negative, it attracted more negative. If it was positive, it attracted more positive. But either way, throughout this whole entire process you were creating, oftentimes oblivious to what you were creating because you were so caught up feeling the negative or positive feelings that were drawing to you the physical experiences that you were having even more emotional reactions to. But if you had to take all of your creations in front of your creator and give an account for every creation that you had ever created with the information that was instilled on the inside of you from the beginning of all time, not from your birth, from the beginning of all time, you knew that fear only created more fear and more illusions. You knew that all power was within you. You knew that you were the son of the ultimate creator. You knew that whatever you asked for would be supplied. You knew, but you didn't tap into the part of you that knew. You got caught up building this illusion. You got caught up building this alternative version of yourself. You got caught up playing follow the society. You got caught up performing for others. You got caught up in your thoughts. You didn't sit down, meditate, enter the state of perfection that is above thought so that you could hear, so that you could know, so that you could be, so that others could witness and they could align not with you but with the source that they see has propelled you into a whole nother experience. But that's not what you've been after. You've wanted people to celebrate you. You've wanted people to follow you. You've wanted people to wonder what you're doing, check on you, make sure you all right, tend to you, serve you. You've wanted just what you say Lucifer wanted when he fell or was cast down inside of this mythological story that you have taken, like most, as a full historical account of a time that nobody can account for. Listen to the things that you say about the people around you that you've judged and said are no longer suitable for you because you partnered with them in desperation, and now you're living in truth, and now you're pursuing your purpose, and you know who you are and what you're called to do, and you need to be connected with people that are locked into their purpose and locked into their calling and pursuing what it is that God has for them to do as well. No, stop. plan. Ain't nothing changed about you. You still desire diving. You still around here chasing after your own desires, which are always selfish and always leading you in circles. You are still around here trying to accomplish what it is that you see or think will satisfy you and set you on a superior level than your peers. You still are in competition. You still operate in fear. You still are second guessing yourself. You still procrastinate. You still put things off for another time and tell yourself that you know the reason why. And the reason why is never fear. It's never because you're afraid to move now. It's never because you're afraid to engage in a process that will bring about true change and nothing will be the same. It's never, you never have opened your mouth and said to anybody that says, well, why you don't just do such and such? You ain't never opened your mouth and said, you know what? Because I'm so familiar with doing things my way that even after I seen that it does not work, I still want to do it my way because I'm afraid to do it any other way because I don't know how to do it that way. So even after you tell me how to do it and tell me I'll be okay, understand I don't trust you and what you say or what anybody else says. I only trust what I think I know, and what I think I know is what I feel and what I've experienced in the past. I only follow the illusion of myself. I only follow my body, the symptoms, the sight that I have. You haven't been looking for a team. You haven't been looking for a team. You've been looking for followers. You've been looking for servers. You've been looking for people to support what you say. Source showed you were sent to accomplish. If you were chosen for such a purpose, then all to accomplish that purpose has been deposited on the inside of you. You executing and delivering your purpose to the collective is not contingent or dependent upon someone else being in place or providing a service that you have partnered with your purpose. No, that's not a team. And people typically get paid for that, but you use your friends and relatives because you don't have the paper to do it. And then you want to fall out and erase eternal connections because of temporal moments of dependency where you were supposed to have sat with your creator, your divine source, and got a strategy to execute with the abundance that you were equipped with. Understand, your gift is supposed to open doors for you, not your relatives. Leave them people alone. They're probably off desperately pursuing the money that they need to keep their imaginary life going at a speed that allows for them to walk past their coworkers and say that they're living the dream today. Just vibe. They're just as afraid as you. They're just as unstable as you. Their bank accounts are not what they try to make you think that they are. Understand, it's not the amount of money coming in, it's the mentality that the money is being utilized with that determines what a person has and the level at which they live. It doesn't matter that they make 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 more, 100,000 more than you a year. If they got a poor mentality, they're living at the same level or a lower level at which you are familiar with. So you don't have to get it in your head that there's reason to be envious or jealous and knock yourself into a state of distraction and toxic feelings that the only thing you can do from there is experience, enhance, acknowledge, realize, forgive yourself for, and move on. That's a process that you're far too familiar with. You do it way more often than you're willing to admit. We would say daily, but actually you do this multiple times a day. And you don't even just have to forgive people. You have to forgive moments. So when we're talking about building a team, when we're talking about pursuing our purpose, how do we approach such a task metaphysically? How do we approach it within the bounds of universal truth and principle and law? First and foremost, Your team, just like you, needs a unified intention. Emotionally, socially, psychologically, you need a unified intention. You need to understand that everything you do, everything you say is communicating a message much deeper than what it is that you are presenting on the surface. Every action, every reaction is bearing witness to either the illusionary world of darkness that is familiar, or it is bearing witness of a higher kingdom of much, much greater reputation. You need to set a unified intention before bringing a team together. Clarify the collective purpose. Encourage each member to align their personal intentions with the team's larger goal. This creates harmony and a unified, energetic feel, amplifying the group's success. Your group has never had any success because there's never been any unity or harmony. You guys settled on uniformity. Instead of finding a way to unify, the only way to unify anything or have unity in any expression is for there to be differences in the presentations that are present. If there is no differences, there is no unity, there is uniformity. This is what religion taught us. Everybody is talking the same. Everybody is to walk the same. Everybody knows the same songs, reads the same books. Everybody is gathering at the same time in the same place, or a place that is similar to the place that we gather in, and they are being taught similar to the things. That's uniformity. A Muslim walking with a Buddhist that is best friends with a Christian who come together and build a business with an atheist successfully and peacefully. That is a picture of unity. I have set my personal interests aside for a collective intention that has been identified, pursued, executed, and we now are in conversations on how to grow inside of that. But you be gathering groups of people together for no other reason than you have something that you want to do. And that's not even enough to keep you present. The fact that you wanted to write a book, the fact that you wanted to write a movie, the fact that you wanted to drop an album, the fact that you wanted to start a podcast, it wasn't even enough to keep you applying yourself daily. But you think that you wanting to do something is supposed to be enough to keep a whole cast together. It's supposed to be enough to keep a whole business together. It's supposed to be enough to keep a whole organization, a whole nonprofit, a whole event going. No, sir. No, ma'am. If it's not enough to keep you there, it definitely won't keep somebody who doesn't even have the desire, but has a desire of their own there. And that's why you end up partnering in with a bunch of low vibrating energies. That's how you end up around desperation. That's how you end up inside of a bunch of toxic situations, because that person had absolutely no interest in bringing that business into fruition with you, because y'all didn't have a unified intention. You had a desire. You had something that you saw that you wanted for yourself, and that person that you connected yourself to, or you tolerated being inside of your system, it was nothing but a compromise. It was nothing but you using the resource of this person. And that person, we're not going to look at that person as some type of victim, because that person had an agenda. If that person was not connected to you and your call, your purpose, or your business in a way where it can be said that you guys had a unified intention, and that means they had an intention of their own. So they had their own selfish desire that they were in pursuit of. That's why you got to come together, and it's got to be bigger than you. It's got to be bigger than them. What is burning on the inside of me for me to bring into this experience for the collective, out of the love that I have for them that was installed into me from the Creator who loves all, must be communicated clearly, first and foremost to myself, so that I can present it to the collective. And inside of the collective, there are others who this call will resonate with. This call will spark a call within them. It will stir the gift within them. And then the opportunity for partnership, true relationship, springing from a source of love, can be cultivated. You need to stop connecting yourself to people who have no intention other than running from the desperation, running from the fear and the catastrophes that they imagine, watching the vain pictures as they sit unpreoccupied with their imagination. If this is how they manage and handle their personal time and their own personal creative function, if you incorporate these people into your system out of a desperation and an illusion of thinking that you need someone to do something to provide for you the proper platform to present your purpose in a way to accomplish what it is that you are after for yourself, what you have witnessed them do in their own experience is what they will do inside of your system. No words, no incentive will change this. The people that you connect with out of desperation are desperate themselves, oftentimes for the same thing that you are desperate for, which is the acceptance, approval, and the accomplishment of vain imaginations entertained. These people are just as unstable as you are. Whether you take time to acknowledge that instability within yourself or not, whether you are willing to admit how you will destroy anything getting in the way of you accomplishing the fulfillment of a picture that you have seen on the inside of yourself that you are desiring to see manifest in the physical. Even if you don't acknowledge that within yourself, deep down on the inside, you know. Deep down, you know. Another thing that we got to do when we're building teams, and remember, as we're building a team, you have to remember there's two things. You must operate simultaneously building a team. You must operate as one who is constructively and productively edifying the team. But you also must be focused on your own personal development. Whatever it is that you have been identified as sufficient in providing for the team to bring about a win, then you have to make sure that you're not only able to do it as well as you were identified in the beginning, but you got to make sure you're progressing within your ability to do that. You have to make sure that you're moving along with the time. Somebody somewhere else is applying themselves with the same ferocity that you did before you accomplished anything, before you were celebrated, before you had a couple dollars. And if you mismanage your success, you'll find yourself not only outperformed, but you'll find yourself no longer being sought after because someone else was a good steward over the good gifts that were being extended, and they applied themselves consistently to elevating that and to ensuring that that is something that continued for them. Balancing the energies. We have to recognize the balance of masculine, active, and feminine, receptive energies within the team. You have to be willing to act, and you have to be willing to sit. You got to be willing to give, and you have to be willing to receive. You have to be willing to correct, and you have to be willing to be wrong. You have to be willing to be strong, and you have to know when it's time to exercise the appearance of weakness. Encouraging each member to tap into both creative flow and assertive action ensures that the team dynamic fosters both productivity and intuitive guidance. I need for you to be meditating if you're on my team. I need for you to be tapped into your identity if you're on my team. I need for you to know who you are, know who I am, be living beyond judgment, criticism, assumption, suspicion, so that you can have a benefit to the team. Your suspicions ain't benefiting the team. Your fears are not benefiting the team. Your toxic behavior, your illicit conversation, your vain imaginations and projections don't constructively add to the team. Easy way to take a L. Encouraging members to tap into both creative flow and assertive action. But I need for you to not just meditate, to not just know, but to act on what you know, to know to the point that you are forced to act because there is a fire burning on the inside of you from what you know. I'm not talking about being curious. I'm not talking about being slightly persuaded. I'm talking about being all in. If you're on fire and I'm on fire and we have a unified intention, there is no stopping us. There is no stopping what we can accomplish. No argument, no dispute, no mismanagement, no mistake can come in and separate what this is that we're doing, because it's always bigger than whatever act is in front of us. Remember, we got a unified intention. We want to see this kingdom look like that kingdom. We want to see this group of people healed. We want to see all people healed. We want to see everybody walking in the whatever you have decided is your universal call. That's not for me to tell you. That's not for the preacher to tell you. That's not for your parent to tell you. That's for you to sit down and discover on the inside of yourself. That's for you to allow love to uncover. And I'm telling you, 100% of the time, it's love. Love brings you into the awareness that you were called to love. However, whatever medium you were called to extend love through, whatever medium you were called to communicate love through, that's between you and your creator. But I'm telling you, you're not going to do it until you really, really know. And you're not going to really know until you really sit down and stop entertaining all of these other voices. Focus on inner alignment within the team. Encourage team members to work on personal growth and inner alignment. Again, if my point guard is not working on his handling skills, if my shooting guard is not putting up consistent shots, if my center is not in good shape, strong, and going up, crashing the boards in practice, trying to project where the ball lands off the rim when it hits certain spots, if my power forward is not cultivating their ability to drive to the basket and to knock down mid-range jump shots, if my small forward is not building their game in whatever way it's weak and continuing to strengthen it where it is already strong, then we're not going to have a strong team. Strong teams are built because individual players come together under a unified intention to win chips. It ain't got nothing. You can have the best coach in the world. It has something to do with having a good coach. You got to have good leadership. You got to have somebody to have a game plan, to put a map together, and to make sure that those within the system are executing the plan. But if y'all ain't working, if you're not building yourself, then the team actually becomes baggage to carry rather than something that helps you arrive at your goals. Practicing mindful communication. Cultivate open, mindful communication. Words and intentions carry energy, so focus on speaking from a place of truth and empathy. This allows the team to create an environment of trust and mutual respect. Every time you put a group together, it's got cliques. People just be SSing. People just go to talking about each other because there's no accountability within this group. There's no harmony that is the product of a unified intention. You just want everybody to get along because that's what you want. And again, your desires. You want everybody to get along, but sometimes people do things that you don't like, and you will open your mouth and clearly declare how goofy they is and how much you don't enjoy being around a particular person. So where is your desire in that moment for everybody to get along? It's overridden by another desire that everybody abide by what you think is right in moments that include you. Which is why I ask you, if you can't even stay consistent in living by your desires, what makes you think that a group of people can come in and partner with your desire and consistently apply themselves to your desire when they have their own desires? Multiple S's.